hope you're all doing okay and you enjoyed the episode with Auntie YBB. I can't believe we're on episode 3, and I'm really, really excited about who I have here with me today. She's a Nigerian-born fashion designer and is the 9th of 12 children in her family. After completing her high school education in Nigeria, she gained a bachelor's degree in civil and structural engineering from the University of Sheffield in the UK. Her pieces are stocked in 4 different continents. I'm rocking her piece right now, which is very, very bold, colorful, and just absolutely beautiful. And without further ado, I have with me Wanni Fuga.
Hi, Timmy. Hi,
Hey.
Timmy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this. I know that your sister reached out to you on my behalf, and I know that we have a couple of mutual friends. On the last episode with Yetunde Bankole Bernard, I asked her to leave a question for the next speaker.
Interesting.
And her question was, who are you? So who is Wanni Fuga?
So Wanni Fuga is a brand. I am Toluwani, not Wanni Fuga.
Yeah.
So, well, to be honest, even though the name is made out from my name, but my name is Toluwani. Who am I? I am a wife, mother. I am a fashion designer.
Just going into the questions now, tell me about growing up. So what was your family dynamic like? I know I touched on a bit on the bio introduction, but what was growing up like for you?
So I'm from a large family, really big family. We're 9 girls and 3 boys. And I'm actually number 9, funny enough, yes. My dad is an engineer, so which is one of the reasons why I studied civil and structural engineering. All my siblings have grown up to be either engineers or medical practitioners, which was why it was really funny when after coming home and I told them that this is what I want to do, I want to be a fashion designer. My dad called it being a tailor for the longest time. Only recently now that he would say my daughter is Wanni Fuga or is a fashion designer, but before it was being a tailor. But yeah, I grew up with my siblings. They all had they had a huge impact in my life growing up. They supported me a lot. They still support me right now, which is why a lot of them tend to think I'm a bit spoiled. But, I would like to say that they spoiled me. You'd never tell that a lot of us are from different mothers, but I guess that's something that my dad really worked on, just ensuring that we all grew up together in one home as one happy family.
Right. So it's a close-knit family then,
Yes,
and you guys
exactly.
do a lot of things together.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Lovely, lovely. So of all the people that I'm talking to on the Navigating Purpose podcast for my birthday, we're probably the closest in age. I think all the others are probably in their 40s.
Really? We're the closest in age, honestly.
You're in your 30s, right? You're in your early 30s. Yeah, so that's what I mean by
31.
closest. Yeah, exactly. So you're
yes,
just
we
a
are
year
closest
apart.
in
So we're probably the closest in age. So how has life been for you, and how have you been navigating life in your 30s?
You know, honestly, I think finding your purpose is a journey. I wouldn't tell you today, as I'm sat here, that I can tell you 100% this is my purpose. But like I said, it's a continuous journey. It's a continuous journey, basically. And then, most importantly, you asked me, how am I finding in my 30s, navigating life in my 30s? I think most importantly, I've realized growing in faith. And being able to be spiritually strong in faith is one of the most important things that I find these days. Honestly, even living in this country alone, I tell people I don't know how they do it on their own without the Holy Spirit. Because sometimes, like, even just interactions with people, having conversations outside, running a business, a lot of things are almost, almost like set out to just make you want to just quit and give up everything. So another thing that I would say really changed my life was obviously getting married, raising a family, and having kids. I think being able to watch my kids grow and knowing that you're responsible for these children has honestly changed how I think and how I see life and how I handle things. It's honestly an amazing journey, being able to just see 2 human beings that you birthed and just watch them develop, build their characters, and have their own personalities, etc.
Yeah. So do you think turning 30, how did you feel when you turned 30? So for me, for example, like late last year, I was really, really deep in thought and just thinking, wow, this is like my milestone age and I should be doing this and I should be doing that. Did you feel that type of way at all? Like when you were turning 30 or
think. So what did I feel when I was turning 30? I feel like I just wanted to get my life back.
Yeah.
I spent I think from 24 to 26, I was either pregnant, raising kids, nursing babies, growing my business. And I remember when I turned 30, all I wanted to do was just take a vacation, somewhere that I've never been, doing different things, taking time to reflect and figure out like the next things that I want to achieve in life. Yeah.
Right. So 2024, this year, makes it a decade that you started Wanni Fuga. How did you go from being a civil engineer to running a fashion business? How did you find your purpose?
So it wasn't really all laid out. I wouldn't tell you that I knew exactly that this is what I wanted to do. Like I said, I'd spent 4 years of my life studying a completely different course. I had come back home, I had done NYSC, and I was job hunting in Lagos as the normal thing that we're meant to do, but it was such a daunting experience and one of the worst times of my life, if I can remember. I wasn't sure what I was doing wrong, but I wasn't getting any jobs. Nothing was happening. I was going for interviews, I was applying, I was doing everything, and everyone would tell you, oh, this is normal, you have to wait. And I'm just thinking, really? Is this really how it works? And the few opportunities that I had, it wasn't worth it, I would say. So I was just home. And then, obviously not earning. Everything I was getting then was then from my siblings, obviously, because I was back home. And like I said, we're a lot, so it's easy to just get whatever you want from your siblings, from my older siblings. And then my mom actually used to be a seamstress. So I started playing around with, so when I wanted to go out, I would follow her to her shop and then visit like local stores selling fabric. So whatever little money I could find, I would buy like 4 yards, 5 yards of fabric, take it back to, I remember she had this market where she had shops where she was sewing. Then I would go there and then I'll meet like tailors that she knew and then pay them like something small, obviously, to help me make this outfit that I thought would be nice, help me design this, because that was what I had to go out with. I couldn't afford to buy. In fact, there wasn't even much. I remember back then we didn't have that many things. This is 10, 11 years ago. We didn't have that many things here. And that's how we pretty much started, trying to make pieces for myself. And I find that when I wear it, people are interested. My siblings liked it and like, you did this. Oh, I want this. And I'll go back to the market, try to source the fabric for them, take their measurements, take it to the tailor, get the tailor make it for them. And then for my sisters as well, their friends as well. That's pretty much how I started. So it wasn't really, and then that's pretty much how the business took off.
Yeah, and then you decided to go to school for it and to,
School came up only recently.
Oh, really?
To be honest, maybe about three years ago. The first 3-4 years ago was when I started doing because I found out that I needed to advance myself to take myself to a different level. So that's it.
So do you think that has like contributed to, because a couple of people say, oh, I don't really, think school is that important. I don't think it's that, Do you think that like what you're learning in school, you're basically able to apply in your business? Or is it just kind of understanding the mastery of fashion? What's that experience been like going back to school? Because I would say maybe for the first 6 years, you were already kind of running the business and, gaining momentum. So
what happened was that, we had, most people, when you want to start a business, you have a clear plan. You have things you've laid out and then you follow those things. I didn't have that. So we already had that momentum and I had to come back to the beginning and try to build the brand, like try to identify the brand position that I want,
Yeah.
the feel that I want for the brand. So I had to pretty much come back from the beginning and start trying to find how I want my brand to be placed, and my target audience. Who am I designing clothes for? Who are the women? What story am I telling with the pieces that we're designing? And but the first thing I did, I wanted to study in school was, because I've always wanted my brand to sort of be positioned on premium level.
Yeah.
So I had to I went back to school. I took a few courses to learn how to position your brand on a premium level. And I guess we're still working the steps to get to where we want to be. Mm-hmm.
So you got married at what, 24?
Thereabout, yeah.
Yeah. What has that been like?
Why do you laugh?
No, what has it been like? I think it's something interesting that, I think a lot of people would want to know about, just how you've navigated that, and come into who you are today.
It's been an amazing journey.
Yeah.
It has been.
Yeah.
It has been. But in all honesty, I wouldn't tell you that it's been easy. It's been difficult.
Yeah.
And difficult in the sense of having to grow a business, raise kids, and be a wife. Having to be a wife and obviously build a family. Having to juggle all those three things together is not an easy task. And sometimes I have like aunties and people who have like eight kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to ask them that, Auntie, how did you do it?
Yeah.
With no help.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you do this? How did you guys still end up being sane? Because even me with 2 kids running business, and they all worked.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that they were housewives. Some of them worked.
Yeah.
Like some of them even had 3 jobs. So I'm just like, how did you?
And no technology.
Yeah, like and no help.
Yeah.
I have an aunt who's in New York as well.
Yeah.
8 kids.
Wow.
And I'm just like, how did you do this?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. But then I would say that for me, I like to say that I married my best friend. We had known each other for a while, and I think that that's important. We both fill in for each other's lapses, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And sort of cover for each other. And I think with that, we're growing together. We're building a home together.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that when I got married, I was a wife. I would say that he's made a wife out of me,
right,
which is what's expected. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so failure isn't something that, people talk about a lot. And when I think about failure, I like to think about it as failing forward. So accepting failure as, a stepping stone to future success. So what are some challenges that you faced, and, how have you overcome them?
I think failure is inevitable. Before Wanni Fuga became what it was today, we failed so many times. Like, I remember one experience that I came home and it was just really bad. We went for a fashion show and I literally sold one item.
Yeah.
And that one item, I feel like my friend bought it so that I don't... So let's say we sold nothing.
Yeah.
But then, if you know how much we invested into that show, and going there, and I remember packing up and coming back home that day, and my dad is just like, "Look, you've tried. This is a hobby. I think you need to find a job."
Yeah.
But then, and like other times, like there's so many proposals we made, so many stores we wanted to stock in, nothing, and then eventually at some point they were the ones looking for us. So I would say that getting the right support system is the most important thing during that time. And then keeping your focus and determination. That's what I was. I was determined. Like, if anybody told me that I wasn't going to make it, it's a lie. I was bound to. It had to happen.
Yeah.
So I was pushing. My mom says that I'm a market woman like her, because I was pushing and I knew what I wanted, and I kept moving in that direction, and eventually the success did happen.
Yeah.
So,
were you inspired by your mom being a fashion designer to go into fashion?
No.
Or not particularly? You just liked it and...
No, my mom's line of fashion I would never do, which is more like bespoke. It's not something that I like to do. I actually think I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I like the feeling of seeing people
Yeah.
in my clothes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when I see people send pictures,
yeah.
it actually makes my stomach turn a
Yeah.
little bit because
Yeah.
I actually really like it. And
Yeah.
then you have a whole lot of people. I have people who come to me, who see me outside and tell me, oh my God, I wore this piece someday and I felt absolutely amazing with myself. That drives me, that gives me purpose, that makes me want to keep pushing
Yeah.
and keep continuing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. For people that want to go into fashion and, are building brands and maybe are just at that intro stage, what are the things that they should know, or how should they, go about setting up a successful fashion business?
I would say with starting up anything, you need to identify something that you're solving.
Yeah.
And then create a product around it.
Yeah.
Identify your market. Which for me, like I said, I didn't do that from the beginning, but
Yeah.
we had to. So I have a lot of people who had pieces from when we first started and now, and it's almost like two different brands. We used to have crop tops.
Yeah, I remember that.
And things.
I remember that. Yeah.
Now we don't really have pieces like that because
Yeah.
we're able to identify who our target market is, how they want to look, the type of pieces they want to wear. So
Yeah.
that's why I said you identify a problem that you want to solve, make a product around it, identify your market, and yes, you have to pray as well.
No one would look at you and say Wanni is a prayer warrior like this. I love it, but yeah, absolutely.
You really do have to because you can do everything, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly. So that's it. I think, and I think one thing I would say to anyone starting up is to just keep at it.
Yeah. Consistency is key.
Consistency, yeah. If I had the instance I told you about the show, if I had packed shop that day, it would that would have been it.
Yeah. And I think also investing in yourself. A lot of people want it quick and easy.
Nothing's quick and easy.
And for you, after 6 years, you're going back again, to basically learn, build your brand. And I'm sure that you can see the difference even with the sales and, all of that, having to invest in yourself and also investing in the right team, I think.
We're still working. That's a continuous process.
Yeah.
It's still continuous growth. But yeah, you're totally right.
So just before we wrap up, let's leave a question for the next guest. What would that question be?
So I would say, if you had to do something else career-wise, what would it have been? Like if you had to do something else besides what you're currently doing, what would that have been? Yeah,
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Wanni, for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on episode 3 of Navigating Purpose with Temi. I cannot wait for you guys to meet the next woman that will be sitting on the hot seat with me. Till I see you again, thank you. Bye.